All right. Looks like I gotta make a video on this stuff that I did a few weeks ago. I did an expansion for CodeWalker where you can now load modules on CodeWalker directly. So you go to downloads, you're gonna end up with a zip file like this. If you open that zip file, you're gonna have two folders and two files. If you don't write code, just ignore the one that says src. Just drag and select the three, the modules, the abstraction, and the modular. Drag and drop them in the same directory where you have your CodeWalker executable, and you're gonna end up with two in here, those two files, and the modules in here. So let's go over each of them, see exactly what's going on, what do they do in that sense. So if you have those installed, for example, you have center window. When you start CodeWalker, always start center in the middle of the screen. That bothered me because every time I will open it would just somewhere in the left or in the right or bottom of the screen, and I just want to look at it straight up in the middle. All right, so that's what it does. In the center window, that's what the DLL does. I have disabled the LOD highlight because it doesn't work properly, and I don't think it's in here. No, it's not. Next one, it's MLO module info. You can select a selection, go to MLO instance. You can find an MLO. Right here. And you're going to have this tiny window in here that will tell you exactly when you selected an MLO, the big blue box, or this one, will tell you what's going on in here, how many rooms, floor ID, portal count, and all that kind of stuff that you may need to know. Also, how many objects a certain room has, like so that's what it does. That's without having to open. You can still have that at info if you want to go to open project, press escape, cancel, then add to project, and you're gonna have that kind of stuff in here if you want to dig into it. White tab, add to project, archetype, and then you're gonna have all this stuff in here. Rooms. So all this info that you have to dig through to get to what you expect to see, it's right in here on this tiny window. It's pretty much the same information, except that it doesn't list all the objects that are in a specific room, but other than that, it's pretty much the same thing. All right. Next one is going to be project filter, right? For example, you have, let's switch to entity. Like that, and select something, anything. And just let me close the stuff in here. Ymap, remove. Tab, remove. So we're just going to add this one to the project window. And for example, I'm looking for crane, right? Now every single thing in here that's crane, that has the word crane into the name, was going to be highlighted like this. So if you, let's change to storage. So you can now filter what you're looking for without having to scroll and try to read every single one of those names and what's going to be highlighted. Let's try a different one. And now you have pretty much all the bushes or highlighted into this stuff. So that's what the highlight does. All right, let's do project window archetype filter. This is what it does. This is you filtering the archetypes. And then project window tree. Right. So this one is pretty much the group of buttons in here. So for example, when you try to select something and move it, you will see that sometimes the Ymaps is going to collapse or expand or doesn't properly behave in the way you want. If you have hundreds of them, it's going to be very hard for you to scroll through everything and find everything, and just you can just collapse or highlight or expand whatever you're working with. Y type, YBNs, YNVs, YNDs, and all kind of type, the file types that will appear in the project window. So it makes it easier for you to sort through the files. All right. Project window size. When you first open the project window, CodeWalker, this is the thing that annoyed me pretty much. Maybe you may not have that problem. What the hell is going on here? All right. When you open the project window, okay, this is weird. It's supposed to be in the center. Probably if I restart CodeWalker, 1 second. Yes, and that's right smack in the middle. If I open the project window, at the moment it's available to me, you will see that the left side panel and the right side panel are resized properly, in the sense that you're going to have enough room to read the names or whatever you're trying to add into the project window. So this is what I'm talking about. The project window starts in a certain size, and the left side of the project windows also starts in a certain size. If you add something into the project window, you will see that you don't have to resize this anymore for you to read the names right away or filter whatever you want to do with it. Okay, the tooltip helper is when you select an object, an archetype in here, you will see that you have 3 fields. One is to copy the name. If you want to put in an RPF Explorer, you're trying to place it duplicated, you have the you have a possibility to copy the name of it. Otherwise, you will have to find it into the project window, select it in a list, and go to archetype. This one simplifies the process. You just select it like that, copy. And also, if you want to do some very basic, you want to get some very basic on the information itself, you can do that too. And you're going to have this kind of information, the location and the name, and the LOD information. And you can also export it directly to XML. It's not going to export with texture and on it or any of that stuff, but it can drag and drop it directly into Blender and look at it if you want to see the geometry. So that's the tooltip helper. And the Ymap highlighter is used for example, I loaded this prop into the project window, and I need to know where are the other objects that are part of the same Ymap. That's for something that, for example, it already exists for vanilla, right? But it's very useful when you have your own thing. You have hundreds of props, and you will find that you will actually realize that it's a very bad practice to have one prop in here and one other prop on the other side of the city. But that means you have to click every single, you have to select every single archetype in the list and then check the position where that is. With this simplifies the process of visualizing where every single prop is. And if I press H, this will tell you all the props. You see how Rockstar does it. They do not spread. They group the archetypes in that sense. They group the archetype to be in one small area, or well, whatever it appears to be small. But they do not add a prop in here and another prop in here. That's part of the same Ymap. So this pretty much tells you where are the other objects in the scene that are part of the same Ymap. So I know this one that I just selected. From project is part of the same Ymap, and if you load the custom Ymap, it will show you exactly where every single prop is or archetype is. So it makes it easier to visually distinguish between the locations. Everything needs to be grouped like that. And that's pretty much it. That's all the stuff that I thought some of you had questioned about how to use them. That's all there is. There is no more complicated than that. See you on the next one.